Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Welcome back to Excel User Series 5.0, and this particular video will be available in Excel Snippet YouTube channel plus iSelf Academy YouTube channel. Again, the long wait is over. Almost it took 10 months for Microsoft to release this software, this particular tool formula for the end user. It was earlier available in Beta's edition, and now it is available for all of us. The next two formulas that we're going to see, I may call it as this is the replacement for pivot table in the near future. Again, pivot table does this work beautifully. Again, the reason why this formula would have been released is creating pivot table for a longer pages or a lot of pages or a lot of pivot tables. Refreshing them will be tougher, even though we have facilities like refreshing them all at a much faster rate on settings. Still we have some difficulty in handling it. To make sure that we are working seamlessly and dynamically, we have two more dynamic function which allows us to do things better. The first function is called Groupby, another one is called pivot by. Again, when I go for these two formulas, again both the formulas are almost similar in data, but again we are about to get some column fields in pivot table or pivot by, but in group we won't get the column fields here. So in our today's session, it's going to be a little smaller video. I'm not going to extend it too bigger. Let me make it a simple one first, so this allows us to do things better, and we will go for an extensive video as we go forward and see the comparison between the group by and the pivot by. So we always use our original data here. So the data that I have built in here is this. So now I'm going to bring the group by functionality. So when I do set a group by functionality, again group by function has a big syntax. So that's what I showed you earlier. I'm going to use few of them here. I'm going to use the role field, I'm going to use the value field, I'm going to use the function, I'm going to use the field header, and if I require anything other than that, I can pick up the total depth, sort order, filter array, and field relationship. So you can set a big information here. So for the first part is what is the field that I'm going to take in place here. So I want to pick up two of the fields here. Now I want to pick up the customer wise product sales is what. So I'm going to just come back here and then select the whole customer and product as my row field column, and then I'll give a comma, and then I'll ask you what is the value field here. So I'm going to pick up their sales here. I'm going to pick up the sales value of the value field here. Then I give a comma, then it pops up a big list here. So this is the formula that I'm going to get. So I'm going to get a huge, I'm going to get 16 different data here. Again, you can use a lambda function to achieve this, but again I'm not using a lambda function. I'm going to make our life a little more easier. So I'm going to use the sum function here. Then I give a comma. Then I'll ask you a question. So would you like to have the data called the header field? You want the header field to come into place. So I'm going to just say yes and show, and then I'm going to give a comma. Then I'll ask you whether you want a grand total, subtotal, or a grand total on top, a grand total and subtotal on top. So you can set a lot of information beautifully. So I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to give a comma, and then I'm going to keep the sort order. Again, the sort order does not come in the drop down menu yet. I don't know why, but again normally sort order gives you 1 for alphabetical order. If it is an alphabetical order and ascending, I'll give 1. If it is a descending part, I'll give -1. I'm interested in giving 1 here. I'm going to close the bracket and give an enter. That way it's going to pop up the data for me automatically. Now I get the whole list here, and this is dynamic for me. So like the only thing that I might have an issue in here will be probably I may not able to select two different columns separately in the group, and I will check out that because I didn't just work out yet. So I'm picking up the data which is continuous here. You can pick whatever you want to pick in this dimension. So I got all my sales here. So if I want, instead of sum, I want to get an average here, so I can pick up the average also here. So that way it's going to give you the average for each and every person here on a product. And if you want to pick up only one column here, you can do that. So I'm going to just pick up only products here. So group by can be done in this way. So again, this I can achieve it on a pivot table with ease. So you can just check out how it's going to work for you. Again, I'm going to just give F1 to F. You can get the totals here. Again, the only disadvantage that I'll have is when I normally use a group by functionality, I will not get the formatting done properly. So the formatting may be a challenge here, but again, in our subsequent video, we will see if such a scenario is required. I don't want to create a pivot table here. I can do this. So I can create the same data with pivot table here. So I'll go back here, insert pivot table. And then I'm going to tell the system that, okay, I'm going to pick up the data in this data set and in here. And I'm going to give an OK there. And then I'll pick up the fields. Let me just bring him here. I'm going to pick up the product sales. So the advantage that I have in my list will be here. Again, I'm showing the summation here, so I can just change this to average. So when I do that, again, the same logic comes into play here. The only thing is the headings are coming a little better because here I have to go for the row label change and I have to set the value fields here. Again, I can set that in here. Again, I'm not getting the row label field oddly here, so I can just get this point. So probably if you are looking for a dynamic data set further on in our data set, you can use group by functionality here. When I come back in the next video, I will show you how I'm going to use pivot by. So I created a pivot table to get the same result. This is my group by functionality results, and this is going to be my other dimensions. So let me just make the formula available for us. Again, I didn't do all of them, or I didn't use all the syntaxes in the data set for me, but this is the formula that we will get here. So I'm going to just say equals group by, or I'm going to just use a formula text, sorry about that, and get the answer done. Sorry, it's a dynamic array function, sorry about that. So this is how the formula will look like for us. I said only one set of the data sets here, not all of them. So I used only the row field, value, functions, field header, and sort order. So I neither I put the total and sort order here. So again, I never touched the filter array or a field relationship here. So we will see that in the upcoming video. Hope you guys learned something new. This is Vinod signing out from Excel Snippet and iSelf Academy YouTube channel. Go to our new set of formulas, group by and pivot by, from the beta version to all user version, and you need a specific version here. So you need to have 2409. That's the version that I have at the moment. So if you have the same version with you, then you will get it. In 2408 I don't see this formula. After updating only I got this formula. So now we all get this. This is generally available for every one of us. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. Cheers.